What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to From the Top Rope with Andrew Crawford. I'm your boy Andrew Crawford, not the GOAT, but I look like a GOAT. Close enough, am I right? I think I'm right. And today on the channel, we will be doing a His Case to Go On. Before I tell you, there's two things that's got to happen. You got to like, share, and subscribe. And I've got to drink something to keep me hydrated because health is wealth all of 2026. And before we get started, I would like to tell you, you matter. Now, who are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the 14-time world champion, a former King of the Ring, a former 2-time Royal Rumble winner, a former tag team champion, alongside Shawn Michaels. We're going to be talking about a man that's won a few Intercontinental titles, had one of the funnest Intercontinental title ladder matches I've ever watched. We're going to be talking about the current Chief Content Officer of WWE, Triple H. Now, before I get into this video, A, this is just my opinion on him as a pro wrestler. His booking decisions have nothing to do with it. B, I'm going to say something about his booking. His booking is not bad. I don't know who has told you it is. I personally do not think it's bad. Like, I lived through the fiasco that was 2019 Vince McMahon era. I lived through 2011 WWE. I've lived through some of the worst years to be a wrestling fan, and they were all under Vince. And the only Triple H year that comes remotely close was last year, and even then the second half of the year really picked up, outside of John Cena losing to Gunther via submission, which I think was the wrong choice, unless Cena was to have passed out, in which case John Cena's motto of never give up would have stayed true, and it would have been great. But anyways, that's all I'll say about that. I think he's a good booker. If you don't like him, that's your opinion. No booker's ever going to satisfy the entire population of pro wrestling fans. Tony Khan won't do it. Triple H won't do it. Vince didn't do it. TNA's never done it, but anyways, I digress. Let's talk about Triple H. Now, like with Randy, we will talk about longevity, and I will mention again, as a LeBron James fan, I will never not take longevity into account. Triple H made his debut in the early 90s. He wrestled at a very small indie a few times in 92, debuted as Terror Rising in 94, and in 95 was in WWF under Jean-Paul Levesque, who played some sort of rich prick to an extent. Hence the name of the finisher being a pedigree, because we come from different pedigrees, and the rich are the ones that use that terminology a lot. But anyways, so that's already huge, because that's he wrestled until 2019, so if you want to say 92, that is 10, 20, 27 years. If you want to say he made his debut in 94, because that was the first major promotion he started wrestling for, that's another 10, 20, 25 years. If you want to say he made his debut in 95, because that's when he made his WWE debut. 95, 05, 15, 4 more years. That's a 24-year career. So no matter which year you take into account, over 2 decades in the business, and the only thing that you could say is that his consistency fell off quite a bit depending on who he was working with. Like, his WrestleMania 33 match with Seth Rollins was really good. His WrestleMania 34 bout with Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle while he teamed with Stephanie was really good. His match with Batista at WrestleMania 35 was not very good. His match with Roman in 2016, not very good. Anyways, his consistency is the only thing you could ever hold against Triple H outside of promos, because he's never been bad in ring, ever. I don't know what negative stigma has been on Triple H about being bad in ring, but he has never been bad in ring. I don't think, and I don't know where the negative stigma that he ever has been came from, but it's a wrong stigma, it's a lying stigma, and it's just inaccurate. Then you have the fact that in that illustrious career, like I said, 20, minimum of 24, max of 27 if you want to be honest, but he also actually started training in 1990, which would give him just shy of 30. But either way, he won the Intercontinental title, his first title. But it wasn't until 2000 where he really found his thing. What would be him? And that was the game gimmick. That was my time. That was the McMahon-Helmsley regime. That was the Attitude Era. That was the Sledgehammer, DX. In 2000, Triple H won the main event of WrestleMania 2000, which it was actually WrestleMania 16 if you go like numbers wise. And he won a fatal 4-way match with the Big Show, Mick, and The Rock, and became the WWE champion. And the only title Triple H has never won is the US title, but that's because when it was reintroduced in 2002, there was zero reason for him to ever touch the mid-card scene again. If you disagree, you're wrong. You know, he had done the right things as Intercontinental Champion. No matter which time he held it. He did what was asked of him by jobbing out to the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 12 in like less than a minute. Like, he did everything that was asked of him. He paid his dues. He worked his way up. He got to the main event scene. And when he got there, he never looked back. And there was never a reason for him to look back. And he killed it. Everything he did, he killed it. Post 2000, he became undeniably one of the best in the world. I'm gonna say it. He is on the Mount Rushmore of the Attitude Era. Rock, Austin, Triple H, Undertaker. That's the Mount Rushmore, point blank, period. He's on the Mount Rushmore of the Ruthless Aggression Era. Triple H, John Cena, Batista, and Edge. And you can take Batista off and put you can take Triple H off and put Randy Orton. They're interchangeable, and that's fine. But he's still arguable for a spot on that Mount Rushmore. He played major roles in the careers of Daniel Bryan in the PG era. He did so much in his time with the WWE that the fact that people can say he's not that good baffles me for his longevity alone. But then we get into his aura, entrance, charisma, all that mess. It's just one big category now. From the time he started using The Game by Motorhead, because yes, Motorhead did his theme song, it rocks, and every time it comes on my workout playlist, I feel like I could step into a octagon with Brock Lesnar and have a fighting chance. Like, I love this song, it fires me up to no end, and it became a symbol of pro wrestling. Every game, every match he had, where that time to play the game blared through the arena, crowds would lose their mind, whether positive or negative. Whether they were booing him during the Reign of Terror or cheering him during his iconic return to MSG, Triple H demanded a reaction. He was polarizing. So he had aura. He had an amazing entrance with the whole water spit and the flashing lights and the part where he'd get on the middle rope and he'd tell the crowd to bow down to him, as his nickname was the King of Kings. The Cerebral Assassin, The Game. He's had a lot of nicknames. It's insanity to me that people could look at Triple H and be like, meh. I don't see it. Because he had the charisma. At least when he didn't have a microphone, but we'll talk about that. And even the My Time entrance was great. The DX entrance was great. The King of Kings by Motorhead song that he used for his entrance at WrestleMania 22 against John Cena, and used as the leader of the Authority during the PG era with his feud with Daniel Bryan and stuff, was great. That deserves so much love and respect, because aura, charisma, entrance, that's all something that's huge as a pro wrestler. John Cena has it, Roman has it, Cody has it, Edge had it, Orton has it, Rock had it, Austin had it, and all those guys are legends. Flair had it, Jericho had it, Triple H has it. Even now when his music hits, I'm like, yeah, I miss this. And I do. I truly miss it. Like, there is a reason Triple H is always an active member on my WWE roster. On every universe mode I do, he is an active member on my roster, because I love his entrance and presentation that much. I will use his entrance for My Rise sometimes, or Evolution Cohort Batista, one of the two. He has one of my favorite entrances ever. He's an icon for that alone. Now, like I said, mic skills. This is Triple H's biggest downfall. His in-ring ability is elite. He's got the accolades. He's got the charisma. He's got the longevity. But my word, the only Triple H promo that I can think of that I genuinely love is during his WrestleMania build with Seth Rollins in 2017, where he literally said the quote, if you ain't making enemies, you ain't making money. And he said, people think if you have money, you're evil. If you're a millionaire, you're evil. If you're a billionaire, you're the Antichrist. Like, he went in on Seth Rollins about, and it was like a business-sided, like, he was like, you've got to make money in this world, and it was a great promo, and that is the only Triple H promo I've ever remembered loving. He's not great on the mic. He's never been great on the mic. I love Triple H, but he's not. In fact, the only thing I think of when I think of Triple H on the mic outside of that promo is when The Rock was cutting a promo on his Armageddon opponents, which was the 6-man Hell in a Cell, Kurt Angle, Austin, Rikishi, Taker, and Triple H. And he did the King of Kings, the game, and like just made fun of the way Triple H was on the mic at that point, and it has me rolling every time I think about it. And now I just want to go watch that promo and then watch that Hell in a Cell match. So I'm probably going to do that when I'm done recording this. Speaking of which, if you would like a top 10 Hell in a Cell videos, Hell in a Cell matches video, drop it in the comments, please. But I am I don't love his promos, but everything else, he had it. Like I said, longevity. If you want to start from when he started training, 29. You want to start from his first match under any promotion at all, 27. You want to start from his first match in WCW, 25. You want to start from his first match in WWE, 24. This man has a minimum of 24 years under his belt, a max of 29 depending on what you are counting his debut. That is ridiculous longevity. That is why I talk about The Undertaker the way I do. Why I talk about Edge, Cena, like literally the one thing holding Austin back from being my undisputed GOAT was the fact that his prime was shorter than Derrick Rose's, if I'm being completely honest. But Triple H has the longevity. He's got the in-ring ability. Like I said, technically he was so sound, and every move he did looked legit. Even the pedigree looks like it's gonna kill you, depending on who sells it, actually. The sledgehammer, like everything Triple H did, looked great. His accolades, 14 world titles, tied for third with Randy Orton. And the only two men above him, Ric Flair at 16. I know what the record actually is, but officially recognized by WWE is 16. And, because I love the rhyme of it, the never seen 17, John Cena. Like, Triple H is an absolute legend when it comes to his accolades. A former King of the Ring, a two-time Royal Rumble winner, one of those Rumbles being for the WWE title, might I add, entering number 30, which, less impressive, but still two-time Rumble winner. A multi-time Intercontinental Champion, a former Tag Team Champion, a former European Champion. Triple H has done everything, except for a Money in the Bank win. Literally, him and Randy are both missing one thing to truly say they did everything they could do, and achieved everything they could achieve, which is kind of hilarious to me, actually, given the Evolution history. But either way, and I genuinely think that as a pro wrestler, Triple H deserves way more respect than what fans give him. And there's a part of my brain that is saying fans only hate Triple H the wrestler because they disagree with Triple H the booker. And you know what? That is an accurate statement. But guess what? I'm still a Paul Levesque guy. I think I've covered basically everything. And if you couldn't tell, the theme of the next few His Case for GOAT episodes, Evolution. From my number one member of Evolution, who I think the greatest pro wrestler to come out of Evolution is, second, third, and fourth. Those are my next few His Case for GOAT. So I covered Randy last video. I think he's the best member of Evolution. The GOAT of he's not the GOAT of Evolution, but he's the greatest pro wrestler out of the group when you look at their whole career, I feel like. Triple H is number 2, and next time we talk about, well, I'll tell you in the outro. So in conclusion, yes, Triple H deserves to be in the GOAT debate. I don't care if you started watching wrestling 20 seconds ago. Triple H should be in your GOAT debate. He's one of my favorite pro wrestlers ever. He's in my top 10. Like, literally, I think he is one of the most... He is somehow one of the more underappreciated wrestlers of all time, and it's because people disagree with his booking decisions. And I know I'm right on that. I know I'm not stupid. So, you have that. Yes, I think he's in the GOAT debate. Where would I personally rank him? Top 10. Don't know where, but I would rank him in my top 10. I think he is one of the GOATs. I think he deserves all the love in the world in the GOAT debate. He is one of the best to ever do it. Bell to bell, he's great. Like I said, accolades, he's got them. Longevity, he's got them. He was never a great talker. Oh well. But everything else to do with charisma, he had it. And, well, yeah, that'll pretty much sum it up. Yes, I think Triple H is one of the GOATs. And that's the video. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next video when I talk about the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And yes, we will talk about him. As much as I don't like to, because of one incident that I can point out in his past that I don't love, I will still talk about him. But anyways, that's been the video, and unlike John Cena, I can see you, and I will see you very soon, and remember, you matter.